Jim, Midnight Road Garage. Now, I'm on vacation in Minnesota visiting my son and his beautiful wife and my 3 awesome grandchildren, and I noticed that her 2015 Buick Enclave really needs some front brakes. So we're going to knock that out real quick. Let me show you how it's done. Now, my son doesn't have a large collection of tools, which is okay because you don't really need a whole lot to do brakes, especially not on this. Now, the Buick Enclave is the same platform as the Chevy Traverse, so if you got a Chevy Traverse, it's the exact same procedure. So we are going to need some brake pads. We're going to need a large screwdriver, flat blade screwdriver, to compress the calipers. We're going to need a 13, either a socket or an open end wrench will do. That's to get the caliper nuts off. We're going to need some brake cleaner, and we will need something to get the wheel off, and of course a floor jack. If you've got a jack stand, that would make things even safer, but we're just going to pretend that I do. So Duralast Elite brake pads that we got did come with all new hardware and some brake lube. So as we take this apart, we don't have to be concerned about this piece here. We're going to be replacing it. This one and this one. This is a dual piston caliper that we're going to have to compress before we take this 13 off and this 13 down here off. We have to compress the brake caliper first. Normally I would show you how to take this apart and use a brake caliper compressing tool, but all I have is a screwdriver, so we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way or the hard way or the way that most people do it anyway. So let's see what we can do. So in some cases, these calipers, you can reach in here and get on the front of the rotor and just pull the caliper. Unfortunately, that's not the case here, so I'm going to have to try some alternative methods. See if I can just get this going a little bit. Now, remember that the kit I got came with new stainless sliders, so I'm not really concerned about bending these old ones. If yours didn't come with those new sliders, then you don't want to do this. Alright, that's almost enough. Having gone back and forth, got enough of a gap that now we can really compress this. And you can see it's separating from the brake pad. Trust me, you want to do this first before you take the old brakes off. And you basically want to compress this until it will not compress any further. When you put these new pads on, they're so much thicker than what's currently on here. You won't be able to get them on if you don't have these pistons completely compressed. Alright, hopefully we're good. Okay, let's get this 13 off of here. These are actually very, very short caliper bolts. If you're used to doing older cars, you'll see just how short that is. Same with the bottom. We're going to pull our caliper off and then just set it up here. Don't let it dangle by the hose. Just set it up top like so. And then go ahead and take off our old pads. They just come right out. And if they don't just come right out, then just pop them out. Try not to scratch the rotors. Now, I'm not replacing the rotors because these rotors are still good. If you're replacing the rotors, you need to take this giant bolt here off and the other one back here. Take these 2 bolts off. Take this bracket out. Take this Torx off here, and then this will all come off. And you can just put it back on, put this Torx back on, then put these 2 big bolts back on. But we're not doing that. Alright, we can go ahead and take these pieces out here. Probably just want to use a screwdriver to pop them out. We've got all the old parts off. Let's just hose this down. When you use brake clean, it dries really fast, so you can see it drying. Perfect. Our new slider goes in pretty much the same way they came out. Put it down, that, and then push it in. This piece here should lock in place. Alright, we are locked in place. Same with the upper. Alright. So on your brake pads, one should have a squealer and the other one doesn't. The one that has the squealer goes on the inside, but first we need to put some brake grease on the ends here. Just going to put a little bit here. Do the same on the other side. And now this is ready to go in. Just goes in the slide, it pops into place. I'll show you a little bit better on the front one. The other pad's all greased up, ready to go. We just pop it into the slide like this. Just like that. Now these do push out because they have a little spring action on them. So when we put the caliper on, we need to push in on these a little bit. So now we're going to take our caliper, press in on this front brake pad, and just slip it on. We'll take our 213 bolts, put them in place, tighten them down. Okay, we're done with this side. Both the bolts are on. We're ready to put the wheel back on. And then we'll get that other side done and take it for a test drive. So when you're ready to take it for a test drive, make sure you pump the brakes several times before you actually put it in gear and try and go anywhere. Presuming everything goes fine with your test drive, make sure you check the brake fluid when you're done and top off as necessary. Well, that takes care of this brake job, and hopefully it's helped you get your brake job done. If you found this video useful, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see y'all down the road.